Hello everybody, today's clip is supported by Sleeper. Before we dive in, let me tell you a bit more about Sleeper. This app is making serious waves. It was the #1 downloaded sports app in the US during the NFL season, even beating heavyweights such as ESPN and Yahoo. Sleeper isn't just popular, it's because they truly deliver the best fantasy experience. You get deeper customization, more league options, and all the bells and whistles that make managing your fantasy team a blast. But that's not all. Sleeper is growing a fantastic community with several million people using it daily for their sports fix. Sleeper has a broad appeal and is genuinely built for everyone. So, if you're looking to up your fantasy game, make sure to check out Sleeper by clicking the link in the video description. Trust me, you won't regret it. I want to talk about Jadon Sancho. Save the best till last. Sort of didn't grasp the severity of what he said. And I want to come from this from a place where it's not really just about Sancho. It's about every other mercenary footballer we've had at Manchester United who doesn't grasp what this football club's about. And it's not really critical of Sancho or any other player, although I am going to be critical because we might have players that are mercenaries, but our owners are mercenaries. So we can't say Rashford or Sancho or Di Maria or Sanchez or any other player are the problem, or Luke Shaw or anybody else are the problem at Man United. They're an issue, but come see, come saw. You know, if the owners set the standard and then the minions underneath follow suit, is it any wonder? But it doesn't make any of it acceptable. So Marcus Rashford puts out an Instagram post yesterday of him for Villa. And Sancho again is right in there with freedom. And look, Jadon Sancho might be being a troll. He might be being a shithouse. He might want to wind up United fans. He might be a moron. There might be he might not have thought about what he was putting out there. But when you do that, you might think you're taking a pop at Man United's hierarchy. You're actually taking a pop at Man United fans, some of which had your back. So when you talk about freedom, instead of doing one word and trying to be clever, which may be beyond your IQ, I don't know, why don't you explain what you mean by freedom? Because I look at Jadon Sancho and I see a very, very well paid player by this football club for a number of years who didn't justify that wage. I look at a player that in a season where we needed him was given 4 months off for non-football issues and nobody gave any other thing than support. Whether that was Erik ten Hag, the football club or the fans. He didn't play football from September to February and he wasn't injured. And we needed him. And he was on 300 grand a week. And Man United fans backed him, supported him, never questioned it. He lost his future at Man United because he decided to start posting stuff on social media again and not show respect to the badge and the club and keep it in-house. And that was because he wasn't putting in training and he was late for training. So when he talks about freedom, what is he talking about? Because I see a player that was massively overpaid for a long period of time, who didn't put it in, who was given amazing support by the club and the fans, and he's putting something about freedom. Mate, you were living the fucking dream for 3 years at Manchester United, earning massive money with the support of the fan base, and you wasted the opportunity. And you're acting like, what? You're in some sort of prison. Some people actually have to go to work, mate. Some people are on minimum wage, working 60 hours a week. And you're talking about freedom. You got paid 300 grand a week to do next to nothing. Read the bloody room. And also, can I just say, your top reply to Marcus Rashford for a Villa win, you're playing fucking shit for Chelsea. You got knocked out on Friday and you played shit, mate. And that is my issue with that. Everyone's entitled to an opinion, but everyone's entitled to a response. What are these pop star footballers? You're paid to be a footballer, mate. And your biggest hits are a tweet a year ago and a reply to Marcus Rashford. You are playing shit, mate. You are playing shit. You are paid to play football and you are playing shit. For Man United and Chelsea, and your biggest thing is social media. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I know there's going to be Sancho FC out there and everything. And somebody said to me, well, you can't blame Sancho for being disinterested and unhappy at a club where it's a football club being run into the ground. Yeah, Jadon Sancho is not a Man United fan. Jadon Sancho is an employee of Chelsea and formerly of Manchester United. His job should not be influenced by whether he thinks the Glazers are running the club badly or wrong. He's there to turn up, train and play well. I can't stand the Glazers. They're running the club into the ground. But if I was a Man United player, or you were a Man United player, as a fan, you would turn up to work, you would work your arse off for the shirt, you'd do it for free, and you'd be vocal about what's going on. These players turn up and just can't be arsed. So I don't see them as representatives of this Manchester United fan base because they're not Man United fans. They're paid handsomely to do a job and they don't do the job. So don't try and relate your personal circumstances to players because they're paid to do a job and they don't do it. They're paid handsomely to do a job and they don't do it. And they don't read the fucking room. They don't read the room at all. But on the other hand, it's not our problem, is it? And there are people out there that wanted people like Sancho to stay at the football club. And I look at Sancho, I look at Alexis Sanchez, I look at Di Maria, I look at Rashford out on loan, I look at Anthony out on loan, and I don't think we've made a bloody mistake on any of them. I really don't. I think we've made the right choice on all of them. Whatever their futures are going to be, I wish them all the best. But I'll tell you what I see. I see a player that left Man United in August. It's February 2025 and we're still living rent-free in his head. I see a player that is very, very bitter about Manchester United still. And I see that freedom message as somebody that still hasn't got over the fact that he fucked up at Man United. Because if he was truly happy at Chelsea, why would he be talking about freedom? So I think that these players will never find inner peace until they look in the mirror and see why they failed is staring them back in the mirror. And they need to find peace. And they need to stop obsessing about Manchester United and what went wrong. They need to actually start thinking, I'm a Chelsea player, stay in lane, focus on my game, and start playing well. But yeah, I understand why it antagonised a few United fans. I understand why it blew up. But I honestly look, I will always say the club is where it is because of the ownership. But when I look at Jadon Sancho, I remember vividly how much we paid for him. I remember the 90% club. I remember the excitement. And I remember the support. And Sancho can never say that Man United fans weren't excited about him. We went for him in one summer, we messed it up, we got him the next summer. Everybody was excited about Sancho. Everybody gave Sancho a chance. He had that season where under Ollie it didn't go great. Under Rangnick, it was his first season, didn't go that great. Then in the second season, he didn't play for 5 months under Ten Hag. We still don't know to this day what it was, but it wasn't football related. Ten Hag backed him, the club backed him, the fans backed him. He came back. We were patient, and then, you know, he never produced the goods. So I don't think Jadon Sancho can look at Man United fans and say, "Oh, Man United fans didn't support me." We did. It just wasn't. It just wasn't repaid. What we must remember is, though, WhatsApp messages, text messages, posts on Instagram can get taken out of context. We've all got a right to say, you know, he's talking about Man United. But what we must remember as well is, one, he might just be a big fan of Braveheart and, you know, be writing freedom. Or two, he might have been talking about, he might not like the FA Cup. And Chelsea got knocked out on Friday night, so he might have been going, freedom, we're not in the FA Cup. So, look, there is context, of course.
Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.